nuggets, welcome back to my channel, and today I want to show you some do's and don'ts for beginners on editing. I'm just scrolling down my ibis edits, my oldest ones, so I could really explain my mistakes that I've done whilst I was learning how to do these, like morphs and repaints. Like, I just want to show you how bad I was and then do like little comparisons, like how you should do it. And basically also at the same time what I'm doing is fixing my old edits. So like I'm talking about my unfinished ones that I really thought was terrible, starting with this one right here. So obviously you can already see the problem, and when some of you send me your pictures to give you advice on what you did wrong and stuff like that, I'm really proud of the fact that you tried. And I feel like a bad person sometimes when I point out what you really did bad, because it feels like discouraging, if that makes any sense. But I know you would learn in a while how it works and get a better understanding. You just gotta practice all the time. But yeah, here in this picture, this is so bad. So a thing that I notice people do is when you have a picture of someone that has an angle like this. So I thought I was doing it right because her face was straight and I was turning it until like it could fit, and it wasn't fitting because at the same time I did not take my Abby picture right. And as much as I turned it, her hairline starts there and my Avi's face is all the way here. So like that's what you got to look at. So if you feel like you're doing it wrong, you just got to look at the actual person and figure it out. And yeah, then you get where you did wrong. Me now, what I would do is I would literally outline and draw this whole thing myself. I would do a different tutorial for that, but this is just a do and don't. I can't really fix her the way she looks right now because I already like blurred it out so it would fit, and I stopped obviously because I knew that this picture was not gonna work out and I was gonna get bad comments. And yeah, so point on this is that I took my Abby picture wrong and she was supposed to be in a different angle, so just so I could fit it to look like this. That's the first don't, and I actually wish I could show you how it should be. But yeah, it's fine. I would show you what I mean in Marvel stuff I've done. Okay, so this is another old edit, right? When I was doing this, obviously the more that you enlarge your Avi just so it matches the picture, your Avi is literally not gonna fit in the picture anymore. So like I had to cut it off and I would repaint it by myself. So that's what I did. I obviously don't like it. It's absolutely ugly. So this is the picture. I really shouldn't have blurred it the way it looks, but yes, this is the picture. And as you can see, I didn't enlarge the picture to make it fit. Like I said before, if I do that, my Avi's face was way too big if I did. But also the problem here is that my Avi's face in this corner, it looks really terrible. But that isn't the point of this don't. This don't is if your Avi isn't fitting in the picture, don't try to make it look bigger. Just like make sure that at the same time the hairline between the two is not too far apart, then you end up with a big forehead and it doesn't change even when you add edges and stuff like that. And as you can see, my Avi still kind of fit into the picture and it was fine. So yeah. Okay, so another don't is you got to repaint the hair. I always say this, do not leave hair out. So of course this is another old edit, and as you can see I left the hair out, And to make it look better, I tried to add some strands somewhere in this picture. I don't know where I did that. But yeah, I did. And I mean, it doesn't look that terrible, but it does make your edit look more put together if you just did. To fix this, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the actual picture and smooth out the hair so it looks like you actually repainted it, so it looks more blended in with your edit and it doesn't look terrible. And this picture, I actually got it off Pinterest. So like I said, if you really want to do a morphed pic, just go onto Pinterest and find something you would want to do. So as you can see, if you just did this instead, because I know it's actually hard to repaint hair on ibis, so this is like the more better way, especially when you've got colored hair that you can't do by yourself. This is so much better. You can just do it this way. See, you can see the difference. Your edits would look so much better if you just did this. I'm just gonna finish it so you could like really see the difference. And I'm hoping all of you would remember to do this, because this brings your pic to life. So make sure you really went through all the hair, and you can tell and you can see such a bigger difference. And there you go, looks so much better now. Okay, moving on. So I know some of you have commented long before. This picture is a thumbnail to how to highlight and repaint on ibis. I really need to make an updated video because it really makes me cringe, the old routine and how I edit, and I absolutely hate it. So the reason why I don't like this picture, you're obviously not going to see anything wrong with it, but the reason why I don't like it is because you can see here how it's not really blended, and I'll put a picture in how my highlights would look now. But I mean, the highlight on the cheek looks fine, but I hate like everything else going on here. It doesn't look blended as I would like it to. And another thing I don't like about this edit, it's not properly shaded. Like, you can tell that I did not do enough. I just went straight to highlighting, and yeah. And then look at this bump. This is why I always erase half of the head before I repaint. And yeah, it's just all bulky and weird. Okay, moving on. I already explained how it's terrible. Okay, so this is another don't I'm gonna show. And so this is a morph I did for someone months ago. You can obviously tell by how it looks. Look at that hand. Look at that hand. Oh my gosh, I can't. Okay, so the problem with this edit is not that hand. It's how unneat this is. Look at this. This is terrible. And I did not properly shade it out, and I low-key rushed it, and this whole edit is a mess. I don't even want to look at it anymore. But why it looks a mess is because the morph that she gave, the real life picture she gave me, the girl is way too light than her. So if you have a dark skin Avi and you're trying to morph it, you're going to have huge problems, and it's going to take a while for you to finish the edit. You get lazy and then it looks terrible, like my edit. So make sure you do not get a real life picture that is way too off from your skin tone. If it isn't, I mean, you can kind of change it. Like if you watch my video on how to match the skin tone to your Avi a little bit better, then you would know what I'm talking about right now. But yeah, make sure it's not too off. But especially when you have a dark skin Avi, do not try to morph the picture when she is like white or light skin. Like, you're going to have a huge big problem. So make sure she is at least brown to dark skin and you would be fine. But yeah, and also make sure you're being way more neater when you're editing, because it makes a huge difference, and you should take your time and not rush it, because why are you rushing in the first place? So yeah, just don't. And if you feel like you're getting tired, then come back to the edit and continue. Don't feel like you got to keep going on, because when you're tired and you keep doing it, then your edit is not gonna look nice. Like an edit I did before, I was talking about in my last video when I was showing you how to improve your quality on your edit. Yeah, I didn't like it, so I'll tell you why after. So basically at the moment right now, I just want to show you some don'ts on highlights. So as you can see, these are really pretty good examples. As what I was talking about, harsh highlighting and making sure you have a good balance between your shading and your highlighting. So yeah, I just want to show you that. So this is how I used to highlight my avatar. This was one of my older avatars that I had, and as you can see, there isn't really a good balance. And look at that nose highlight. Who the hell highlights like that? And as you can see, why do I keep talking like that? As you can see, so professionally. Well, if you just look at my Abby's face, I did not highlight anywhere else, so you can tell I'm a beginner. Well, I was a beginner doing this. I didn't highlight her cheek, I didn't highlight anywhere else, because I didn't have a good understanding what highlights should be at. And I will do a video on that, since I got good at highlighting, and it's my favorite part to do when I edit, because it finally looks so good, especially on my recent edit. And here I did the same thing on her nose, and then that little highlight on the cheek, and then everywhere else is just blank. And this one is also a good example. So when you highlight, you got to make sure it's not white. So you see how my highlight is white, and I did not repaint the rest of her body at all. So you can already tell what's wrong with this. I didn't even repaint my Abby's face. I just did the hair, added a background, added some highlights in the background, and that's basically all I did. So you can't be doing that, because that is not editing and you're not trying. And it's also just being lazy, so don't do that. And by the way, if you're asking about the headband, it's actually from the shop, I didn't make it. But yeah, that's a big mistake that I made. And a lot of you do that. I've seen people send me their edit, and their edit literally looks like how mine did, the one I just showed you. And it's probably like the most lazy edit I've ever seen. And for the guys that always ask me, can you do a tutorial on male edits? This is why I don't, because what is this? This is not an edit. Well, it's an edit, but it's rubbish. I can't do an edit for guys, because this is how I always did it for a guy. So that's why, yeah, I don't take male people to edit. I mean, I will soon, because I've got inspired on how it should work out, but yeah. So scrolling down to another old edit. As you can see, the highlights is overpowering. It's like so overpowering. I don't know what the hell I was doing with the hair, but I thought I did something with those highlights, and oh my god, this is horrible. Her Abby's pretty though, but then I finally actually tried to highlight under her eye, but like, that's another don't, because I see a lot of people that blur it out way too much. I really can't wait to show you how it should really be done these days. And also those edges is a no. Don't make edges hella thick. Make them look natural as possible, because that's how edges are. They're not part of your hair and they don't look thick. I mean, it does for some people, but it's supposed to look light and natural. This was my favorite edit when I did it at the time. I think it was like, I don't even remember. Hopefully thought it would give me a date, but yeah, this was my favorite edit. when I did it. I posted it and I got like, at the time I had so many active, so I had like 160 likes in 4 minutes. So I was so happy and proud of it. And now I look at it like, damn, I really did not do shit. Because I know I did not take up like 24 layers with an edit like this. I take up at least like so much, but yeah, I guess I should show y'all how I did this hair. I mean, it's nothing special. Like, look at all these squiggly lines. I was trying to give her like a slick back, kinky, curly hairstyle look, I guess. And as well, I'm not gonna explain again with the highlight problem, but you can see it's not blended right, and yeah, it's something I would not do anymore, obviously. As you can see from my recent edits, I've improved a lot with that. So that's why I always tell all of you it takes time, and over time you're going to see yourself, understand how it works, and then you obviously change your editing style from when you just started out. I've been doing edits for a whole year, so that's how long it should be for everyone to see an improvement in their edits, depending how much you was even practicing in the first place. But if you're like me and you do it all the time, like you will practice on somebody else, or people think you're good and they pay you for it, that way you just improve that way. But I don't know what eyes I had to think these were good. Well, I had this stage with my edits to look like this. I don't know why I thought it was good, but yeah. And I feel terrible that people kept bugging me to do YouTube tutorials because my edits were not that great, but I still did them anyways. And as I'm going along with every video, every new tutorial on my channel, I am improving along with all of you that watch my tutorials, why can't I speak? That watch my tutorials. Okay. The only thing that I kind of like is the hair, but oh my gosh, all of you should like roast me in the comments on these edits, because like, I don't know, why was the strands like this, first of all? And she paid me to do this. Why did I put highlights on the fucking edges? I can't. This is terrible. And I was trying to do highlights and I just did squiggly lines on the hair. The creativity that I had, I would obviously not do that anymore. I guess at the time, the only edit that looked really professional in a way is this one, because the eyeshadow looks more blended and defined. The highlight doesn't look awkward like my other ones that you've seen. I wish I shaded the white bit a little bit more, but I am going to recreate this on my channel. It is James Charles inspired. So yes, he did do this. Why can't I speak? Yes, he did do this look and I copied off him, and this one as well. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I was watching a tutorial of this girl doing it on GIMP, the PC version on doing edits on your computer, and I was doing it on IBIS following what she was doing, and I don't know, I was so confused, but it came out right and I was so proud of myself. I will recreate this look because I don't like how the highlights look, and I did not repaint my avatar, as you can see, because the freckles are showing. And like I said before, I just highlighted and did not give a fuck about the rest. I was that lazy then. But yeah, that's my edit. And then I used to do this. I'm sure some of you have seen this picture like a billion of times before, but I love to show it as a good example on, again, my highlights, and the fact that I did not edit my Avi's face because I did not know how to. I did not have a clue. The only thing I had a clue about was how to repaint hair, because that felt more important to me on how to do, because it looked difficult. And because IBIS brushes are so bad to me to do anything right, this is the result I had. And yeah, I want to stop cringing and just show my recent edits. I had to tell you some do's on what to do with your edits. Like I said before, there was an edit that gone wrong that I did and I didn't like it. So it's this one. You're gonna look at it and be like, it's good, Shay, it's good. Yeah, it looks fine. I like how I did it. I drew the whole thing myself. This is not a morph edit. But the problem with this, it's because obviously when I was drawing her body, I wasn't trying to make it look perfect. That was the whole point. I wasn't trying to have like a perfect hourglass looking body. I want it to look less perfect. This is bad because I got this little thing going on around her leg bad, and something you should know is if you did something terrible with your edit, you should flip it over and then you can point out what looks terrible and you can fix it that way. That's what you can do, and that's basically it. That's why I don't like it. Everything else is fine, I guess, and I got lazy and I didn't want to do anything else. I didn't want to highlight. I just wanted to post it and be like, hey guys, this is my edit. But yeah, I did not do that, and I made a new edit, which is this one. I did it so quick, and I should show you how I did this clothing thing going on. Oh, so now I'm gonna explain to you some do's that you should be doing. So I know you're gonna ask me, how did you get the highlight to look like that? It's a brush that I bought from someone, so I can't really tell you about that. It's just that I can put it in the description if you want to support the creator and buy the brush. I can't really explain how I did this whole highlight thing going on, but basically just follow the highlights on your Avi already look like. I mean, as you repaint, you would honestly already see it. So there's a picture I'm gonna show right now on how plain her face looked. So what I do with all my edits after I've done doing it, I put a little pink filter to it. So I do this. I use this curve, that option, and make sure it's like on the green option, and I just like put it down and it changes the color a little bit. Or you can just do it with like any editing app that you do and change it, and then your Avi looks more nice. And yeah, that's why that looks more pink and that one looks different. Oh, and I know a lot of you have asked me how to do the hand thing. I tried to record that when I was doing this edit, but like I looked confused as hell, so I just deleted the video completely. Deleted it. I didn't want to post it anymore. So another do is when you're doing your morph edits, so this is what I was talking about, having a good balance between highlight and shading. So when you're shading, it should look like this. Like you should do a lot of it before highlighting, so your highlights don't look overpowering, like I said before. I mean, it's just the most important thing when you're doing digital art, drawing from scratch, anything like that. That's what you got to be doing. I know when you zoom in, you see all these parts because like it's what I missed out when I was drawing. I'm pretty proud of it. I really love it. I really love this edit that I did. I named a lot of don'ts than do's. I can't really think of do's. Oh yeah, and when you highlight, don't try to like highlight everywhere. So something that I recommend that you do when you do your highlights is you smudge it out. So first use the same skin tone as your Avi as the highlight, and then use add and highlight. I'm gonna explain that when I'm actually doing the tutorial. This is just to talk on what you should do or not, and for people that would actually understand what I'm talking about saying. So that's it for this video. And these edits that I did on Procreate, I am going to try to do it on Ibis so you can see how to do that, because I actually really do need to do an updated tutorial on how you do an edit like this one right here. But yeah, if you like this video, like it and comment any questions that you got, because I will answer it. I usually answer really quickly the first few people that comment the moment I upload the video, if you didn't notice. And yeah, so if you're new to my channel, subscribe, hi, and turn on post notifications, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.